Okay, so one book that's been getting a lot of buzz right now, it's Taylor Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere. You've probably seen this cover in a lot of places because it's quite striking. It's like a spaceship going up the skies. It's basically set in 1960s in the era of the space race, and we follow the journey of an ambitious person called Joanne that wants to be an astronaut. So this is the first Taylor Jenkins book that I've read, and I've chosen this one because it's the most recent one. I'm also interested in space, so and in that era of the Cold War, and it's also like a feminist angle on space history. So that was something new to me as well. So let me check my notes here that I wrote. So the plot really is about an aspiring astronaut, Joanne, and you follow her through her journey of becoming one. What I really enjoyed about this is the love of the topic that she has, that you can see in the story. One of the main themes of this story is ambition, drive, and liking something so much that you want to achieve a sense of mastery in it. In her case is being an astronaut. And I really liked this part of the book. Every time she talked about looking upwards, looking at the stars, and her describing like what the signs means to her family and to other characters, you really see how her deep love for this subject, it made you interested in it as well. Another theme of this book is love and family, so I really like the relationship that Joanne has with the other characters. Most importantly, her younger niece called Frances. So both of them develop quite almost like a mother-daughter relationship. Yeah, it was really touching seeing that. And obviously she has a sister also called Barbara, and they've got an interesting relationship too, a bit more rocky. But another theme of this book is connections too, which is kind of related to love, but the connections she has with the other characters, how she befriends people like when she eventually works in this field, and obviously the connection she has with being an astronaut. What worked for me is that it was really well written, so I read this in pretty much a day or two. What I really like about the way this was written was a dual timeline sequence. There's a bit of a past and present thing happening. So there's an initial story, and then between the chapters, every other chapter we go back to the past, and we sort of get to understand a bit more of a backstory of the characters in their life and how they grew up. So that worked for me again. I don't know, it makes you want to read more, right? Because sort of every chapter ends with a slight cliffhanger, so you kind of have to read the next one to get more progress in that timeline. So I guess for me that works. I thought it was interesting, her take of using a female character for this topic in a male-dominated era in that field. So from the reviews I've read, I've seen that people had issues with the pacing, like it started off a bit slow. I didn't find that really. I found it fine, and I went in it like very open-minded, so I didn't really feel any pacing issues. There's a big love story in this book. It is called Atmosphere Love Story. But it was good, but I found myself like skimming a bit through those passages. Yeah, so another thing I didn't like was one of the characters. It felt like she was very being childlike at times, and didn't act in a mature way when, it's always a character issue, isn't it? But yeah, overall I'd give this in the high 3s out of 5, 3.8 maybe. And that last chapter, by the way, it was good. It was really good. That last chapter was good.